Hi YouTube, Marko with Marko's Garage, coming to you today with some Metropolitan stuff. Not this Metropolitan, but this Metropolitan. This Metropolitan came to me as a sort of an exchange. Remember, I emptied out the Hudson? Well, anyway, I got that engine all for Scott. He had this Metropolitan sitting on his property for his YouTube channel. And it's a car he would never restore. It's pretty far gone. It's not going to get restored. But this car will serve a good purpose as a parts car for my car. Now, why would I need a parts car? There's not much wrong with my car. But this Metropolitan has a few things on it. So we'll do a full walk around on this Metropolitan, see what I got, and show you what I'm going to use. Okay, so here it is. I don't know the exact year, if this is a 59, 60, or 61, or 2. It is a Mark IV Metropolitan, which means it's the last generation. It'll have vent windows and a trunk lid and a few other changes, higher compression in the engine and things like that. Now, this car is pretty rough. It has a lot of rust in it, and it has been fixed with fiberglass and Bondo at one time, so it is definitely not really a candidate for restoration. Could be if you were desperate, but there's a lot of rust, even like up along the roof and things like that. Just a lot of things. You could find a better one. I haven't really looked closely at this car. I have to still get the hood open. It doesn't want to really come open, so we got to get the hood open and see what the engine is like, if it's seized. I think it's seized, that's what he told me, but I don't know how well he checked into it. I'm going to put a little bit of air in these tires and get it rolled out to look at it. Alright, as you can see, this car is pretty rusted. It's pretty far gone. Also, you can see that somebody has reproduced quarter panels out of fiberglass. The door does open. So yeah, you can see this pieces of fiberglass over top of the rust. Just makes more rust. Anyway. So typical corners are gone, usual rockers, floors, and around the tail lights. And this one has even some rust holes developing on the roof here. So yeah, now I got to try and get this hood open here. So I'm going to have to see what it takes to get that to happen. And these doors are pretty rotted in the hinges. See here. This one doesn't even want to open. So it's pretty rough that way. Now let's talk about some positives. One of the positive things about this is I need a trunk hinge. You can buy these new. These fit Triumph Herald. They fit some Spitfires. Also the Metropolitan here. And there's a left and a right. And I have two lefts on here. So when I open the trunk on my car, the hinge turns. This one is left and a right, so I'm going to try and get this off so that I can put that onto my car. One of the things that's surprisingly good, and they'd just be temporary, this just picks off, are these taillights. They are just the lens themselves, not the outer ring, but the lens themselves are actually in better shape than the ones on my Metropolitan, so I could switch out those lenses. That would look a little better. Let me show you what happens here. So this is what I'm talking about here on my car. When you open it up, you see how the hinge actually turns because it's the wrong hinge. So hopefully that will rectify that problem. What this gives me is extra parts. The steering wheel on this car, for instance, I can take it off, restore it, paint it, and then swap it out, and I have no downtime on my car. The horn button is surprisingly nice on this one compared to mine. A little bit of that silver is coming off. I'm hoping the fuel gauge works in this model. And as you can see, the interior is pretty ratty, but at least it's here. Like the seat frame is here. It's not all rusted. The seat frame can be recovered, so not that I need it, but it's good to have around. Interior there. Let's take a look at, it It has a good back window, a spare part. It has all the stainless on this car is pretty good, even the side trim, except for the fender. That one's got a bend in it, but the rest of it is pretty good. You just never know when you have a car like this. Something can happen and you need a piece. Inside the trunk is getting rotted down in the corners. Of course you can see daylight through there. So inside of the trunk is kind of rotted around the lip. You could save this, you could blast it up and clean it up and reuse it for sure. If somebody needed some hardware like this cover here for the license plate holder, that's restorable. It does have a correct wheel on the back here. On the car itself, it has Chevette wheels in the back, so they're not correct. But the front wheels are correct for Metropolitan. Okay, same with this side. The Metropolitan badge is missing the Politan part. The side glass is good all the way around on this model. The windshield has a crack in it, so it's no good, but surprisingly only the one crack. It does have good stainless around the windshield. The antenna's junk. The hood is probably a restorable piece and could be used on another model if needed. These front lenses are decent. They're not cracked, and these are glass, so that's good. They're good on both sides. The grille is in need of restoration, but you can buy that in reproduction. The bumpers are kind of crunched in the middle, so I wouldn't say that those are really anything to brag about. And there's probably a few mechanical bits. One thing I noticed, there's an extra drive shaft, so it's got the slip yoke on the end. It's always good to have stuff like that. Air cleaner, I notice there's a clamp on there, and that clamp is the correct clamp. I don't think my car has that. One thing I notice about this car that I haven't seen in any other Metropolitans I've had is this battery hold down. So that's nice, because now I can restore this. It looks to be in good enough shape to install into my Metropolitan, and now I'll have the proper battery hold down. So that's a bonus. So there's always parts in these cars, no matter how bad they are. This driver's door does not want to open. I have to say, it's I haven't had it open. And there's all the hinge pockets are rusted out. If you look down through the headlight here, you can see all the rust in where the door bolts on. There's pretty much nothing holding the door on. This is the inner structure and front spring assembly. It goes to the upper control arm and shock down to the lower control arm. The car is pretty solid in this area, but they get all caked with mud and everything. That's why those corners always rust out. Surface rust, you know, nothing crazy, but it's still very solid in here. If you can see down, you see the pocket there. It's important to wash that out, keep it clean. That's where it packs full of dirt. So as you can see, this car has never had any sort of patch panels or anything put in. It's pretty solid, clean. Suspension's nice and clean. Oh, looks like I have a leaky shock. So let's see if I can get this hood open. Okay, so here we have under the hood, we have an Austin 1500. You can tell it's got the 1500 on the block down here. It has the wrong radiator in it. This is the wrong radiator, but that's okay. Don't matter. There's no extra parts there. It does have the correct red fan on it, which is good. The engine is the correct color. It does have another carburetor on it, which is nice. And let's see what kind of VIN number we got here. This is E66038. E66038. Now on these cars, the body number does not coincide or anything with that. It'll tell you though what the paint codes are, P914 and P913. Trim level's a T900 and the model is a 562. If we go over to my car, it's the same model, it's also a 562. I have P914 and P915 as a paint code. Now this one was produced earlier than mine. This is E66 and mine's E74. So 74 came later. I'm going to look and find out what month this was made, what year. Alright, so about the VIN number here, I got the chart. I printed this off. This is on Wikipedia. I'm not sure if it's accurate, but it seems to be the only thing I can find. E66038 would have been built in this month. This is when the VIN number starts in 59. So that was in June of 1959. So basically this car should be a 59. My car is registered as a 1960 and it was built in 59 but in September. E72235 is when it started, but mine is E74813. So it was built late in September. So that's, I guess I'd peg this car as a 1959. A lot of good usable parts on this. It's got correct things like the correct dipstick, you know, the original generator, not that I'm using that. You know, the coil mount is original. It's got a lot of the correct pieces. So if there's anything different on my car that isn't right. One thing I did notice on the other side, there's a tube that goes down here off the intake manifold. There's a little bracket off of the engine block. I'm missing that on my car, so that'll give me that piece. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just go and see if this engine is stuck. The engine is seized on this thing. Oh, it's stiff for sure. Let me see if I can get maybe two hands on this thing, see if I can break it free. Oh, hey, it's moving. Oh, look at that. Hey, I got her. Look at that. She is free. You know what that means? This engine will probably run unless it has a stiff spot. Look at that. Okay. Well, we'll have to pull the plugs and we'll see if we can get this engine running. It's definitely bent. Pulley's bent here, it's got a notch. Let's see what we can do. The old engine turns over, but it does seem to hit a dead spot, so let's pull these spark plugs and see if we got some rusty cylinders or something. Two of these plugs are out, and you know what? They don't look like they're heavily oil fouled. They definitely look rusty and everything. Doesn't look terrible in there. Let me lubricate the top end of these cylinders with some tranny fluid and we'll turn it over. Slightly seized funnel here. It fits down into the spark plug holes and get some tranny fluid. This will do it. Tranny fluid. Dump some of this in each one. Underneath and try turning this engine over one full revolution, and then once that happens we'll try putting a battery in and see if the starter motor will turn this thing over. Let's see if it turns over here. Tranny fluid's all over the place, but that engine turns over just nice. I haven't checked for spark. I'm just going to see if she fires up. Bunch of gas in case there's a fire. There's no fire. Yeah, probably no spark.
Okay. Alright, so there you have it. The little Metropolitan turns over, has the potential to run. I just need points condenser. I don't have those parts on hand. It's Saturday, and I want to get this video up for you guys to enjoy, and then I got way more work to do on that 57 Chevy and get another film caught up on that. I been working on the fuel system, the 59 Nash Metropolitan, or actually I should say AMC Metropolitan, because it would have been American Motor Corporation at that time. So now I just have some mail call I want to do and talk to you about. Okay, so I did order a t-shirt from Coastal Auto Reaction, the car guys, Big Easy, Bobo, and Just Jake. Community, not competition shirt, and so it's for the all the money and proceeds from these shirt sales go towards cancer. And as you know, Big Easy is dealing with that right now, and so we want to support him, and my prayers go out to you. So let's open this package up and see what we got. Okay, it says on the front here, team member. Okay, on the back it says CNC support, community, not competition. So support these guys, check out their stuff. It's at Coastal Auto Reaction and many other channels, but I want to wear it, and it's a nice shirt to wear, so thank you. Alright, got the letter here from Dan's Garage NC. Dan and his daughter Alex, they got a YouTube channel, you can check them out. It says thank you. Oh, check this out here. Card and some stickers. It's a nice 66 Chevelle front end, very cool. And another sticker says Dan's Garage NC. Thanks for the support. Thank you, Dan, and also Alex there. I'll be using these stickers for sure. I really like the Chevelle one, that's super good. I got a 67 Chevelle, but I had a 66 Chevelle, wasn't an SS though. Very neat. This letter comes through from 815 LSX Swaps. Eric, see what I got here. Everything in the envelope here. Some paper. Alright, couple stickers. Awesome sticker there of an LSX. Man, I'd love to have one of those engines one day. Anyway, check them out. And most of all, check out Scott at Cold War Motors. And his YouTube channel, he's doing pretty good there. I'm almost at 3,000 subscribers as of this video. He's got many more. And he got that Hudson engine. If you want to check out his video, him showing it off and what he got. And this is the car I got from him. So thank you very much, Scott. I really appreciate it. And go check out his channel, Cold War Motors. I really enjoy, he does a lot of sheet metal work and a lot of older cars from the 50s. Obviously Cold War era. So he's got a lot of good content. So go over there and check him out. And as always, thank you for watching. If you like this, please subscribe. Hit that like button. Ring that bell for notifications. And have yourself a great day. Thanks for watching. And see you next week. What have you got there, buddy? What do you got? You got some brake line, some ready rod. What are you building? What are you building? What are you building with that, bud? You gonna do some brake line?
Yeah.
Fuel line? What are you making? Yeah? And Marko, come back. And he's gone. Underneath, and try turning this engine over one full one full revolution. No, I don't, but this is a new toy and it looks dangerous. Ready? Let it rip. Yeah, okay, that's 40. I tried it at 100.
With the handles, that's not that bad. I'm only doing 80.
Why? Why don't you just run max pressure? 98 PSI. 10 gallons.
So it hold us?
What are you gonna do? Yeah, you gonna hold it?
Okay, let's go on that side.
I don't want to point that thing at me.
No. Yeah.
Oh, you want to just set it and see what it does?
Yeah, ready?
All right.
That's not that bad.
That was cool though.
Honestly, it was worth the money just doing that. I'm gonna have to do it. Wear earplugs though in the garage.
Yeah.